Well, here it is, Mandolorian Lego. It's the helmet set my son gave me, and I've been waiting to build this for a little while. A couple of weeks since he brought it over to me. But I've had nothing but PC issues for the past 2 weeks, of which I basically gave up on that PC and went back to using a Mac to record this sort of stuff. I'll have to figure out the PC problems, and maybe somebody out there can help me out. It's the video card. It's an older PC. It's like 7 years old now. And the GPU in it is, of course, like 7 or 8 years old, maybe a little bit more. Well, the model, not necessarily. Well, the one I have might be that old too. I actually have three of them now because I've been trying to figure out what's wrong with it, and I've acquired several of them in the process. Luckily, they're only like $20 each. But anyways, back to I've been wanting to build this. It's been sitting here on my desk, which desk is a disaster because PC problems. But I wanted to build this. It looks like a really nice set. I opened it up earlier and I looked inside at the instructions and whatnot. It's really well put together. So this is a good change of pace. I haven't built Legos on the channel yet, and I just want to build it. And I figure I'll share what it is and kind of how I build Legos. Well, there's the box. Get it up close there, maybe. But let's see what's inside. What do we have? Instructions. And several bags. What's really nice is I love the way they are labeling or numbering the bags nowadays. So, and they're actually in order from what I could tell too. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, which, number 1 is probably the first one that you have to use. Here's the instruction set. And since I know we're going to need number 1, we'll take these, set them aside. 5, 4, 3, 2. Get them out of the way. And got number 1. There's the instructions. There's bag number 1. And in the instructions, they're actually done really well. I like the way Lego sets are done nowadays. With note, you can see each part that a particular bag does. But here we go. Let's leave those there. Let's break open bag number 1. I guess what do you call that? Bag in a bag. Maybe like bag 1A. We'll set that out of the way. And parts is parts. Bag number 1 out of the way. Yes. I'm guessing I'm going to need these parts. But since they're in a separate bag, we'll set them aside over here in a separate pile. Toss that. And I generally like to lay the parts out so I can kind of see them a little bit. I don't know. So this thing, the Lego tool, when I was growing up as a kid, we never had this. We just kind of used whatever we had, like our fingers or our teeth, or go steal a pair of wire cutters from dad, or, a pair of needle nose, a wrench, a hammer, whatever you needed. But, I'm going to try it again because I haven't used one in a while, and maybe it works better now. I just kind of, not my thing. So what do we got? Dun 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 dun. That and got that. Looks the same? Yes. Aha, yeah, so they are asking for parts out of that bag. Good thing I did it. There we go. You know what I'll do? I'm going to move the instructions up and the parts back here. That way you can see the part more. Now we got that. Now we need one of these. Now we got a sub-assembly. Two of these. The flat pieces. Yeah, it's funny over the years how many new types of Lego blocks there are. You're gonna hear me talking about when I was a kid because I'm graybeard old guy. But in the kid in the 70s, I remember my first Lego set. That minifigs didn't exist yet. It was still those like big figures, about yay big, and you just used the 2x2 square blocks to make them, and they happened to have a thing on the top that looked like a head. Yeah, and then the minifigs came out, and of course the venerable space set that I had, like everybody else as a kid. Love that. Love to have it back again. But growing up, I really do. I believe Legos. It's one of those things that inspired me to be an engineer and to build, and I think it's critical for kids to have. And I'm glad Legos have been around since then. It's amazing that they're still going after all these years. Oh, what do we got? Yeah, this is one of those points where you wonder if you're doing something wrong because the instructions don't quite make sense. Hopefully they do. Although Lego instructions are really good. They've always been really good. And I keep my instructions. I got a file folder and a box full of all my Lego and set instructions. And, well, not all. I try to keep as many as I can. So if we go back to the beginning, bag number 1 is building that right there, number 1. So it's kind of the inner core of the head. It's probably going to look a lot like nothing for a while. Just a glob of Legos. Oh, I forgot to part. And there's another one you got to watch out for. Oops, I forgot a part. And then come back and go, oh, crap. Take 2 chunks apart that you had together to put it back together again because you forgot something. What else do we need here? We need some of these 2x3 flat ones. I don't know what you call them or what other people call them, you meaning audience. But like this right here, I call it a 2x3 flat because it's 2x3. There's another 2x3 flat. Here's a 2x4 flat piece. This is like a 1x8 flat piece. And then we get to the other ones. Let's take some of the standard ones. Like this is just a standard 1x6 block. And what do we got? I don't see any other real standard. There's a lot of custom pieces in here. But here you go. Like that's a 2x2 block. I mean, that's got to be like one of the oldest Legos ever, right? That's like the 2x2 is just OG Lego in the 60s when they started or the 70s? I remember from the 70s, but they might have been around earlier. I don't know. All these other pieces are, these. I know the space set had these. Anyways, back to this. I was talking about I think everybody has kind of their own nomenclature. Although I've seen, like in some of the CAD packages where you can design your own Legos, they do have like set names or standardized names. Okay, there we go. 2 of those. Now this, we got one of these that goes in the front there. Turn the page. Sub-assembly time. Yeah, that goes in there. Yeah, those are interesting. 90 degree. Look at that. That's like 1x2 block kind of thing. There's some neat pieces in here. You can definitely tell they put some effort into thinking this one through. I am trying to work on music for the channel. I was messing around. I wanted to get back into recording synthesizers and guitar and whatnot. So this same computer has a lot set up to do that. I'm using OBS to do this recording, and I've been really using Reaper a lot lately to do the audio side. What am I forgetting? Another one of those. We'll label this as part one because that's maybe I'll just do a bag at a time and be 5 parts because there's 5 bags. All right, so this is one of those cases where it says to turn and put pieces on like so. And then on top. Another one I like to do at kind of when you're at the sort of end stage of a component like this for subassembly is look at the instructions. As we can see down here, here's the part. Does your part look like their part? And as far as I can tell, it does, and I don't appear to have missed anything. Now the two go together, so you turn that around. You take that. And the grays go forward. I guess they go like so. Alright, there's that piece. Looks nothing like a Mandalorian right now, huh? There is a Mandalorian in here somewhere. He is just dying to come out. Alright, that goes on the front and on the front one. Yeah, there's another case where you got to watch out. You got a little gray spot there. You got 2 places you could put that. You got to make sure you get the right one. One of these overs goes there. You got 2 in 1. All right. I got that piece that goes there. Kind of weird color choices for a Mandalorian, unless this stuff shows through or something. Maybe. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I should watch Mandalorian again. It was really good. Oh, almost. Here we go again. Almost forgot. Little subassembly requires those 2 to be put together. And then that goes on. Next page. We're already on step 15. Get 2 of those. Line them up. There we go. And then that goes on there. Now we need 2 little pieces like this. Go here and here. Yeah, there's a lot of wild colors in here. I wouldn't have thought. Maybe because they're not being seen, or I don't think green with Mandalorian helmet, really, or like teal blue or orange. Oh, here we go, another spot. Let's double check. Double check a couple little pieces, make sure generally it all looks right, and it does. So let's turn it over. Subassembly there. Then we've got 1, 2 of those, 2 of those. And here's another spot where there's 2 parts, like it's a left and a right. You gotta watch out that you get the left and the right side down. And goes in the back. Goes in the back. Does it look like it? Yep. How many do I need? 2 of these. There's 1 and there's 2. So on there and on there. All right. Now goes like that. Goes like that. And then this goes here and here to level it out. So there we go. So far, so good. Another little subassembly. things go right there and right there. So does it look like it? Yep. Oh, I was doing this side, not this side. Oops. That is the left, and it goes right there. Oops. You gotta watch out. These things falling apart before you get to a certain stage, and they're not quite together 100%. I'll set that aside, and so we'll make the other one. That. I was saying, been making music a little bit. I want to play around with some more synthesizers and get back to that old, like, 80s synthesizer sounds. I love those. Yeah, the multi-moog, right? Yeah, from the late 70s, early 80s. The thing was king of the synthesizers back then. Another one of these. And on you go there. We're getting close. We are now on step 27. That, there, and there. Man, these are some neat little pieces. I would have loved to have some of these as a kid. Instead of just square block number 1, square block number 2. And that goes right there. Okay, now another part on. Well, I don't know what this is or what the color combination is, but this is supposed to be a Mandolorian helmet. Turn the page. What do we got now? We got 1, 2 of these, 3 of these. One in. Hold on. Did I miss something? Yes. I completely missed something. Good thing I checked. Rewind. Take that off. I missed square block in the middle. That there. And that there. I missed that layer on top. So now this can go there. There. Now that's back on. Now I have somewhere to attach these two that I didn't have just a second ago because I almost forgot something. There we go. All right, skip ahead. Actually, there we go. So we got that. All right, now back on schedule. Can do this here, this here. Oh, these little things are not quite there yet. Okay, and turn it around. Too high. There. That goes on top. Alright. A lot of red in here, huh? Alright, that'll stop the other pieces from falling off. Orange and red. Man, bright colors. Weird. Behind there. All right, I got that. That goes in the front there. 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. Okay. Alright. On top. I always love how these, like, this is one of those things where, like, those pieces just, this piece on top just, like, holds the rest of it together. It's the glue that brings it all in. I wonder how they design this stuff, if they do it in their own, like, form of CAD or something. Or if they're just, like, eyeballing it like the rest of us do. Alright, so 2 of these. Goes right in front of that. 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 Alright, so we got one leftover piece. Hopefully that wasn't needed, but we'll find out. You know, they do include extras, spare pieces, especially for like little parts like that. But we'll probably find out. Anyways, so there is assembly number 1. And there's the instructions. Let's see if you can see it there. That is it. Everything looks correct. All the colors appear right in the right spots. I think that's it. So we'll set aside assembly number 1 and call it a night.